And there are a lot of studies that have been conducted, even recent ones, that clearly demonstrate that depression is linked to neural inflammation. So swelling of very particular neurological pathways in the brain can make you depressed. That can be linked to what you eat. That can be linked to what you put in your body, eat or drink. And that's where we get to the physical side of biohacking. So your gut biome can actually inflame those neural pathways. If you have the wrong biome, you can be depressed. If you have the wrong biome, you might be too anxious. So this is where there's a crossover in the biohacking of both your physical and your emotional sides. When we think about anxiety and we think about depression as a biological evolved response to perceived threats, we might start to think a little bit differently about ourselves and the purpose behind these. Why am I feeling anxious? And more to the point about this topic, why am I feeling depressed? What's the purpose? Why has nature given me these emotions? And you'll find it's all around survival. So I hope this helps you to try to get a new understanding, a relearning of depression. When you partner that with the new understanding around anxiety, and you start to ask yourself, is there a reason for this? What's the purpose behind these emotions and feelings I'm having? So that you might then be able to put that into good use, rather than feeling bad about it, rather than saying, oh, it's horrible that I'm having this low motivation, it's horrible that I'm having this depression. Right? When I'm feeling depressed, what happened to being expressed? Right? What happened to being impressed? Okay? Why do we have to be depressed? I want to start talking in different terms. We call it what it really is. Low motivation. The opposite of expression. Higher motivation. Talk about yourself. Talk about what excites you. Talk about what motivates you. Isn't that the opposite of low motivation? So let's all encourage ourselves, and I want to encourage you guys to think about depression in different ways and talk about it in different ways. Hear yourself say, I'm feeling low motivation today. I'm feeling none. I'm feeling low motivation. I'm not feeling depressed. You could feel sad. That's not depression either. Sadness is not a clinical, biological imbalance between hormones in your brain, which is what clinical depression really is. Right? It bugs me when I hear some people say, oh, my 2-year-old's depressed. Yeah, at a neurological point, it's very difficult, if not impossible, for a 2-year-old to be clinically depressed because their brain hasn't evolved, it hasn't developed enough yet. Adults can get clinical depression. So let's talk about what it is, sadness. Let's talk about what it is, low motivation, all right? And that way we can start to hear ourselves talk more positively. And that's where the change can start happening. Remember, low motivation is depression, high motivation is anxiety. And we start to use different words, calling it what it really is, along the lines of the purpose that nature has given us, or biology or evolution has given us for these emotions and these feelings that we have. Then we don't have to tar them with such a horrible brush. We don't have to feel bad about ourselves. And then we don't get guilt, we don't get fear, and we don't have doubt, and then we don't get angry, and then we don't turn that anger on others and on ourselves. If we understand the purpose, we understand ourselves and our place in the world around us, and we can start to actually then channel those energies into something constructive and something powerful, rather than what we've been doing most of our lives, and that is just saying it's bad to have anxiety, it's bad to have depression. So is it bad to have low motivation and high motivation? I don't know. A lot of company executives and people we put on pedestal because they're highly motivated probably have some form of anxiety. And those people who are the ones that like to be alone and they think and they strategize and they form plans and they overcome problems because they sit and think, they might have some sort of depression. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's misunderstood. So today, guys, I hope I've helped people to try to rethink their mindset around depression and by default anxiety. I hope that we can start thinking more rationally about it, start thinking more positively, that I might be in a bit of a slump right now, I might be depressed, but there's a reason for that. Let's explore what that reason is. Let's form a strategy. Let's form a plan that when I do have times of low motivation, I reflect. Okay? And again, the bioevolution of anxiety might just be to help keep you safe. Food for thought. Dr. Ken signing out.